Hey folks, welcome to the channel, Thinking Theology. This isn't a channel about establishing or defending theology. It's just any theological topic. If you're going to refute theology, for example, you've got to be thinking about it. Hitchens, Dawkins, all kinds of folks did so. And I'm agnostic, pretty conciliatory, let's put it that way. So I don't take a hard line on things. I'm philosophical by nature, and I just look at the arguments being made. But I don't have to agree with somebody as long as they're pretty cool. If they're like generally a kind person, then I'm cool with that person. I don't have to agree with them. They don't have to agree with me for us to be friends or to like one another. It's just that simple. In that vein, Mandy Schmidt left a comment on the channel, and I just want to give you a shout out, Mandy. I love this perspective. I love the way you worded it. If people stood in their opinions more like you do, or in their beliefs more like you do, people would just get along a whole lot better. Mandy said this, quote, "I've become so tired of the black and white thinking nowadays. Left, right, theist, atheist. I'm an atheist, but I'm open to the spiritualism and philosophy of religions, and even just historically, they're super interesting to look at and to understand humans. Even if I don't agree with a lot of what they're saying or what people take from them, they're undeniably a huge part of human history." And that's just well put. It's like, look, I don't believe in that stuff, but I can see the value in it. And that's kind of where I get. I understand why people believe in God. I understand why people don't. It's not hard to see, shift paradigms and change the lens through which you see things, at least to understand it. One of a seminar that I was listening to, I think it was titled Thinking Like an Economist, and it was done by 12 hours long, and it was done by Robert somebody. He was a professor at Harvard and elsewhere, pretty bright guy. When he teaches his MBA classes, what he'll do is he'll present a problem to the class. And it will have been a real world problem that existed, but the students in the class won't have known of this problem. It'll be some esoteric problem that a company somewhere faced. It could be a company in Argentina somewhere. In any case, he'd present the problem to them, then split them up into two groups, A and B. And he'd say, now go find the solution for this company's problem. Then he'd bring them back a half hour later or whatever, and he'd say, all right, present your problem to the class. Group A would go, and then Group B would go. And invariably, they would have a different solution to the problem. And then he would say, okay, come together now and agree on a solution. And they would never agree on a solution, okay? Group A had sunk costs. They put their time and thought into it. They believed they were right. Group B believed they were right. Then, when they were at an impasse, which they invariably were, he said, okay, Group A, you are now going to argue Group B's position, and Group B, you are now going to argue Group A's position. And it forced them to see the other position through a different lens. And that is what lawyers have to do. So one reason why people, in a sense, don't like, only one of the reasons people don't like lawyers, until you need one, then you love your lawyer because you have an advocate. But that's how I see the atheist-theist divide. It doesn't matter whether you agree with it or not. You should be able to see it, and you might even be able to identify with the people who embrace it. Somebody who lost their child, for example, and I am very close with a couple of people whose child died. It is almost impossible to fathom that degree of pain and how they cope with it. And heartless folks will simply say, just accept reality. We're all going to be dead one day anyway. It doesn't matter. That's heartless. That's not how I see this. I say, if that helps you make it through this world, because this world is very difficult to get through, then that's what you do. I would never dream of taking away the hope of seeing your child again in some form, whatever that form, however we imagine that. Our imaginations do serve a purpose. Even as kids, we have these creative minds when we're by ourselves in our own room and we're maybe playing with our toys or whatever. We have imaginations. And whether or not you believe God is a function of the imagination or not, in lockstep with what Mandy said, being able to see the value in what others think, and for those who believe in God to see why those who don't, why they don't believe in God, what the holdbacks are, what the issues are with the textual analysis, what the issues are of basically what religion you are is largely a function of where you were born. That seems to be just this randomized, throw it up in the air, and that's your religion. It doesn't bespeak veracity, it doesn't bespeak absolute truth, it just bespeaks belief in the human dynamic. So, Mandy, shout out to you. I love your perspective, and maybe I'll be doing this more often. I imagine I will. Once I start with something, I generally do it again every so often. So there it is. All right, folks. Hope you enjoyed that. As I say in the channel, I don't care what you believe. I just care if you're kind. It's pretty simple. Have a great day. See you on another video, and keep thinking theology. Hey, folks. If you want to take the personality test that I created for my life coaching practice, which is based on the book that I wrote, put your phone up, turn it on camera, and focus on this, and it'll take you to it. And it'll take you about 20 minutes to complete the test. It's free, and you'll get some information on your personality. It's quite detailed, quite revealing. It's kind of fun as well. And I'll be leaving this QR code up on the wall behind me for my regular videos. So I hope you take it, and I hope you enjoy it.